Hello everyone, welcome back to the Bio Classes. So today in this video, we're going to solve few questions based on decision making and branching statements. So now what you have to do is, you have to open your printed notebooks and go to page number 29, where you can find many questions which are based on decision making and branching statements. So today we are going to solve question number 8, 12, 13 and 15. Okay. So let us start solving question number 8. So question number 8 says, write a program to input amount and time. So what is your input? It is amount and time. If the time is more than 10 years, rate will be 8%, otherwise it will be 12%. So there is some processing which is based on decision making. Okay, you have to take some decision to process the data, and finally you have to find the simple interest. You have to find the simple interest, and what will be the output? You have to print the simple interest. So you have to make some decision, and after making the decision you have to calculate the simple interest. So what is the decision? You have to take the decision, or you have to check. Here you have to check. If the time is more than 10 years, then rate is 8%, else it is 12%. So let us solve this question using BlueGen. So first I will create a class. Let it be C5, chapter 5, question number 8. First I will do the skeleton. Class C58. Public void. Skeleton is done. Now we'll take the input. What is the input? Input is amount and time. Amount. Here amount means principal. Okay, here amount denotes principal amount. And time. Time in years. Okay, amount in rupees and time in years. Next, we're going to check if time is greater than 10. It is asked in the question, if time is more than 10 years, means if t is time is greater than 10 years, then rate will be 8%. Then r equal to 8. Don't give percentage sign. Okay, percentage sign is used for modulo division. So here we will write only 8. 8 means here 8% only. So this r variable doesn't exist, so we have to declare r, double r. If it is not greater than 10, that is less than or equal to 10, then rate is 12. Otherwise it will be 12, means opposite of greater than 10, that is less than equal to 10. Now we got the rate. If it is greater than 10, rate will be 8. If it is less than or equal to 10, rate will be 12. Now we have to find the simple interest, that is SI. We have to declare SI also. SI equal to 0.0. Simple interest is principal amount into rate into time divided by 100. I think you have already studied about the formula in mathematics. Okay, so now we have calculated simple interest. Now we'll print it. System dot out dot println simple interest SI. So now let us run and check our program. So let me input amount as 10,000 and time as 6 years. So we are getting simple interest as 7,200. Let us check this manually. So simple interest is amount. Amount was 10,000 into rate. What will be rate? If it is greater than 10, then it is 8, else it is 12. So we have taken time as 6 years, means it is less than equal to 10. It's not greater than 10. So it will be 12, rate is 12, and time is 6 whole divided by 100. 100 cancel, We got 100 into 12 into 6. 6 into 12 is 72 and 100. So simple interest is 7,200. Clear? It was a very simple question. So now our job is to understand how to create expressions. What type of expression? Test expressions from sentences. Like in this case, it was written if the time is more than 10. If the time is more than 10, then rate is 8. So you have to understand the sentence. Everything is given in the sentence. You have to convert this English sentence into expressions like this. In all the programs, you will find English sentences and you have to convert into test expressions. Let us solve another question and see what it is asking. So we'll solve question number 12 this time. So in question number 12, we have write a program that takes experience and age of a person. So here input are experience and age. If the person is experienced and his age is 35 or more. If a person is experienced and age is 35 or more, then salary is 6,000. This is one criteria. He is experienced and age is greater than or equal to 35. Then salary is 6,000. Similarly, next case, he is experienced and age is 28 but less than 35. Age is greater than 28 but less than 35. But means it talks about end. Then your salary is 4,800. This is another criteria. This is another criteria. Next criteria is he is experienced but age is less than equal to 28. It is not mentioned in the question age less than equal to 28, but it has told otherwise. Otherwise means what is left? Less than equal to 28 is left. More than 35 is done. 28 to 35 is done. So what is left? Less than equal to 28 left. For them the salary is 3,000. This is another criteria. There is one more criteria for inexperienced person. So if the person is not experienced and age doesn't matter here. If it's not experienced, whatever his age may be, the salary will be 2,000. His age may be 1, his age may be 1,000. It doesn't matter. Okay, whatever the age is, it doesn't matter. If he is not experienced, then automatically the salary will be 2,000. If he is experienced, then only we'll check his age. If age is greater than equal to 35, it is 6,000. 28 to 35, 4,800. Less than equal to 28, it is 3,000. If he is not experienced, age doesn't matter and straight the salary will be 3,000. So total there are how many criteria? There are 4 criteria. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of these 4, first 3 are for the experienced and the last one is for not experienced. So we can say that under experience there are 3 categories. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Under experience there are 3 categories. Not experience there is 1 category. Then finally we'll print the name, age and salary of that employee. Finally our output will be name, age and salary. So let us write the program in BlueGen. So first we'll create a class C512, chapter 5 question number 12, class C512 public void DNM. So let us do this program using scanner class. So for scanner class we have to import java.util.asterisk. Here we have to write throws input mismatch exception. You have to write the scanner line, scanner x equal to new scanner system.in, and then we'll write a print statement and we'll take input. So what are the input we are going to take? It's already given in the question. You have to take experience and age. But if you see in the last line, it is asking you to print the name. So in the starting point, it is not asked you to take name as the input. But at the end, it is telling you to print it. So obviously, you also have to take name as the input, or else how will you print it? Okay. So now we have to input three things, that is name, experience or not, and the age. So for name, we need string variable, string name equal to x dot next line, and then for age, we'll take int, x dot next int. Okay, how to input experience? So here you have to ask the user that if he is experienced or not. So before taking input, you already know that we have to take a print statement. So we'll ask the user, enter name and age of the employee first. That is the first thing we'll ask. Then next, after taking the name and age, again we are going to ask, enter 1 for experienced and 2 for inexperienced. So if the user enter 1, then we'll get to know that he is experienced candidate, and if he enters 2, then we'll get to know he is an inexperienced employee. So for that, we'll take a variable exp x dot next int. Done. Now our job is to do the processing. This is the input part. We took name, age and experience as input. Now we will process it. If he is experienced, that means if exp equal to 1. So there are three categories inside experience. If he is experienced, then we'll check the age. So we are doing a nested if situation here. If age is greater than equal to 35, then salary equal to 6,000. We'll take another variable salary. Similarly, if age is greater than 28 but it is less than 35, then salary is 4,800. And if age is less than equal to 28, the third case, more than 35, 28 to 35 and 28 less than, then salary is 3,000. In case he is not experienced means 2, then we don't have any criteria for age. Directly his salary will be 2,000. It doesn't matter what his age is. So we've got the salary now. Now our job is to print it. So first we'll print the name of the employee present in the variable name. Then we'll print the age of the employee present in the variable age. And finally we'll print the salary present in the variable salary. Done. So this is the input part, this is the processing part, and this is the output part. Clear? Let us run this program. It is asking for name and age. Let the name be Soumya and age be 25. And now it is asking if he is experienced or inexperienced. Assume that he is experienced. So we are getting the name of the employee Soumya, age is 25 and salary is 3,000. Why 3000? Because his age is less than 28 and he is experienced. For that, the salary was 3000. Let us take another input. Let it be Soumya. Age this time is 30 and is experienced. See, it is between 28 to 35. Salary is 4800. Let us take another thing. Soumya, this time it is 40, experience. See, salary has increased to 6000. Let us take another example. Age is 45 but inexperienced. See, straight his salary is 2000. Age doesn't matter here. Okay, clear, understood? So to solve these questions, you have to understand the question very thoroughly. You have to read the question multiple times, understand it, and then only solve it. Okay? If you understand the question clearly, then it is very easy to solve. Let us solve next question. That is question number 13. Question number 13 says, write a menu driven program. So whenever you hear the word menu driven, always try to do this program using switch. Sometimes it is compulsory to use switch. It will ask you in the question. Even if it has not asked, if you see the word menu driven or like choice based, then always try to solve that using switch. So here you have to write a menu driven program to find addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and modular division of any two numbers. So you have to take two numbers, either you have to add it, or you have to subtract it, or you have to multiply it, or you have to divide it, or you have to do modular division according to user's choice. So user will tell that if he wants to add or subtract or multiply or divide or do modular division. Okay, according to user's choice. These types of programs are known as menu driven program. So you'll give a menu, like in a restaurant when you go, they gave you a menu. Means a menu contains many food out of which you have to choose. So similarly, you'll give a menu to the user and the menu will contain addition, subtraction, division, modular division and multiplication. And out of that the user will choose any one. And according to that it will be calculated. This is called a menu driven program. So let us write a menu driven program using switch. So class C513 public void DNM. So whenever there is a menu driven program, first you have to do in switch. Second, always try to do in scanner. Always try to do menu driven programs in scanner. Import java.util.asterisk. Here it will be throws input mismatch exception. Write the scanner line. And now we'll write the menu. Okay, so how to write the menu? Like this: system.out.println. You can design it whatever way you want. Now you'll write enter 1 for addition. Means if you want to do addition, enter 1. Similarly, the user will enter 2 for subtraction and 3 for multiplication and 4 for division and 5 for modulo division. Understood? If he enters 1, we'll add the numbers. If he enters 2, we'll subtract the numbers. If you enter 3, we'll multiply the numbers. If you enter 4, we'll divide the numbers. And if you enter 5, we'll do the modulo division. So now our job is to enter the choice first. So int choice equal to x dot next int. Then also we need to ask user values, 2 numbers. Enter 2 numbers. So in menu driven program, you have to print this very clearly so that the user understands that what choices he need to give, what numbers he want to input. Okay, so double a equal to x dot next double, this will store the first one, and then in b it will store the second one. So we got the choice, we got the 2 numbers. Now we'll use switch to do the program. Switch what variable? Choice variable, and here the variable name is choice. Then case 1 means if the value is 1, then what we'll do? We'll add. Let us take a variable cal. We'll declare here double cal equal to 0.0. Cal means calculate. We'll add the numbers. We'll add a and b. And then after adding, we'll print it. Println addition is present in the variable cal. And then always remember to write break, or else it will become fall through. Your program will be wrong. Similarly, there will be how many cases? There will be 5 cases. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5. Case 1 is for addition. This one is subtraction, multiplication, a into b. Then this is division, and the last one is modulo division. Done. Now in case the user enters something wrong, he has to enter any value between 1 to 5 as choice, but the user enters values like 0 or negative number or value more than 5. Then so for that we have, so here we'll write wrong choice, entered. Many people write wrong input entered. So it is not called a wrong input. Wrong input means in int you are taking string. That is called a wrong input. Okay. Wrong choice. Here you have to write wrong choice. Then break, and there this is end of switch. Clear? Program is done. Let us run this. It is asking for the choice. Let us do addition of 5 and 10. We are getting 15. Let us run again. This time I want to do subtraction. 4 and 3. 1. Next we want to do multiplication. 4 and 4. 16. Next we want to do division. 4 and 8. 0.5. Next we want to do modulo division of 2 and 1. Answer will be 0. Okay. That is the remainder. So program is correct. So how is this program working? First, we are asking user the choice, is giving a choice. For example, the choice is 1. Then we are asking for 2 numbers. Let the numbers be 5 and 10. Then here in the variable choice we have 1 because the user entered 1. Now it will match the cases. 1 equal to 1 true. True means it will go inside a plus b, that is 5 plus 10. So it will print 15 because 5 plus 10 is 15 stored in cal, it will print addition 15. Then break means it will come out of switch. So end of the program. Similarly, if the user entered 3 for example, and the value was 5 in A and 10 in B, then 3 equal to 1 false, 3 equal to 2 false, 3 equal to 3 true. It will go inside is 50. So it will print multiplication 50, then break means it will come out of the switch. So one case is left. What if the user enters 7 or 8? Let the number is 5 and 6. It will give wrong choice entered. Okay, understood? So next we are going to solve question number 15. So question number 15 says a class named student has 7 data members. Okay, here class namely student means the name of the class is student. The name of the class is student. And there are 7 data members. And here data members means we are talking about variables. So how many variables are there? There are total 7 variables that are name, roll number and marks of 5 subject. So 5 subject means we need 5 variables. Let it be M1, M2, M3, M4, M5. Means marks in subject 1, marks in subject 2, marks in subject 3, marks in subject 4 and marks in subject 5. And we need name and roll number. So 1, 2 plus 5, total 7 variables. And we have to assign a stream as per the average marks. That is 90 and above science with computer, 80 to 89 science without computer, 70 to 79 commerce with mathematics and 60 to 69 commerce without mathematics. So you have to write a program to declare the class student and define the method to allot a stream. Define the method means it is talking about the public void thing. Here method means the public void line. Okay, the function, the method. Okay, let us write this program in BlueJ. We'll write the skeleton class C515 public void DNM. Then we'll take the input. What input do you need? You need the name. There are 7 variables, right? Name, the roll number and marks. Assume that all the marks are integer type. M1, M2, M3, M4 and M5. Okay, total 7 variables done. But remember, here I have taken class as C515. But in the question, it has asked the class name as student. So you have to be thorough about it. You have to understand the question clearly. You have to understand the question and read the question carefully. So here we cannot take C515. You have to take the class name as student because it has asked you in the question. Okay. Next, we are going to assign the stream according to the average mark. So now we have to find the average mark. We only have the marks. We don't have the average marks. So now we have to calculate the average. So double AVG. How to find the average? Total marks, that is M1, M2, M3 plus M4 plus M5 whole divided by 5. So we'll get the average. Then according to the average, we'll calculate the stream. So we'll declare a variable to store the stream. So now we'll check if average is 90 and above, greater than equal to 90, then stream equal to science with computer. This is the first case. Second case, if average is greater than equal to 80 and average is less than equal to 89. So greater than equal to 90, it is science with computer. 80 to 89, it is science without computer. But what happens if the average is 89 point something? So if it is, for example, 89.7, if it is 89.7, then this will become false because it is not greater than or equal to 90, and this will also become false because it is not within the range of 80 to 89. So here in this program, in the question, there is a confusion. So it is better to take less than 90. So even if there is 89 point something, the average can be in point also. If it is 89 point something, then also it will be taken into consideration between 80 to 89. Okay. So here we'll write less than 90 rather than less than equal to 89. So next, it is more than 70 and less than 80. Then it will be commerce with mathematics. And the last one, it is 60 to 69. 60 and average less than 70. It will be commerce without mathematics. Commerce without mathematics. So all the 4 cases are done. There are 4 cases given in the question. Then finally we'll print it. System.out.println. What do you want to print? The name present in the variable name, the roll number present in the variable roll, and the stream present in the variable stream. So now let us run this program. So name be Soumya, roll number be 25, and marks be 78, 82, 76, 84 and 80. So I have written such a way that the average will be 80. 78 plus 82 plus 76 plus 84 plus 80 will give you the average as 80. So 80 means it is science without computer because it is within the range of 80 to 89. Let us take another value. Now the marks let be 34, 46, 31, 49 and 40. I have taken such a way that the average will be 40. Stream, here you can see it is not printing anything. So it is kind of odd because it is printing but it is blank. So here what you have to do change in a program is, without keeping this blank, you can write no stream assigned. Okay, means if neither of these criteria matches, because it is not that every student will get more than 60, it can be less than 60 also. What for them? So we'll just print no stream assigned. Now let us check this answer. And this time again I will take average less than 60. See, we are getting no stream assigned, so it looks more better. So therefore, even if no stream assigned is not given in the question, then also it is better to print no stream assigned if neither of the if matches. If neither of the if matches. So today we have solved 4 questions. So now I'll take a leave from you. Have a nice day. Thank you.